One of my favorite places in Salt Lake City, a little known place. This is Ralphael Place's church school dedicated to teach about the Heavenly Mother and God, Creator, and Jesus. He makes this really interesting artwork. Got these crosses here. This statue of the Heavenly Mother with the baby. Over here, the 13th South River Rock. Even more hidden up there, and even more beyond if you step back a little bit. And that's just on the outside. This place used to be his dad's auto parts store, built in 1930. And this one, just up to the brick here, was one story. Was the store for the apple orchard that was behind here. We're downtown Salt Lake City here, but used to be an apple orchard. Used to be a canal that went right by here, across 13th. So I came over here probably 10 or 12 years ago for the first time. He let me in and gave me the grand tour. It's full of interesting stuff inside about his theory of creation. You can see a little bit right there through the window. See that big dragon? But looking down there, you can kind of see there's a little bit in the basement. But he gave me the big tour years and years ago. Up on the roof, up in the upstairs, all the main level, the backyard, down in the basement, caves that he's dug out under the building. Just a ton of fascinating stuff about his theory of creation. And a lot of local history too. I have a lot of pictures from that tour back then, but I've been stopping by a lot lately, trying to catch him again. See if I can get a little bit of video too. He hasn't been doing very well health-wise and has always had to turn me away until today. Today he gave me a little bit more of a tour. Just the main level inside here, no basement or upstairs. But I'll include some of those clips now. I'm gonna chop it up and try to just get some of the more interesting stuff. We'll do some of those clips and then pictures both from today and from years ago on that first tour.
And it was down in deep. And so you're doing all this stuff. And it all takes time. And I told you how old I am.
I don't remember how old you are.
81.
Well, you're still nice and young then.
And sometimes with some of your problems, sometimes all the pain you have, you just as soon die. See, but the building, this was like there's a window there.
Mm-hmm.
There was a window here. This was the end of the building. Didn't go any farther.
Yeah, so this was the garage at the time, and then that was.
Well, no, what I'm saying, this is. See where this door in the window is?
Uh-huh.
This is where the other garage door was.
Oh, okay.
In fact, it's back. I'm not that strong, and when I took it out, I could only get it so far. I'll show you where it is. Over here, then you can see the pictures on the wall there. This is the one scene of the woman in heaven, sitting on the lion's leg for protection, hiding from Satan. You don't remember that, maybe?
I don't remember that one.
But I originally started this room in 1974 because I had this car at home. I bought it when I was 19.
Yeah?
And I've had to totally rebuild it.
It's a good looking car.
But anyway, see over here on the wall, there's a picture of how it was when you came in.
Oh, so that's how it looked.
And this is how it used to look. See, there's the garage doors.
Mm-hmm.
And these are those doors.
Oh, this right here, the pictures are on.
See, we had them stored upstairs, and I put them in here for the door for here. That's the thing.
That's fascinating. I love the history of this.
But when you go to Lagoon, see, I read like there's a lion there.
So that car there is this one right here, right?
Huh?
That car up there is this one?
Yeah, you can see it's kind of a tan color.
Uh-huh.
And that's the colors it was when I bought it.
Sorry, I cut you off about Lagoon.
And it had the motor been froze, and so the blocks of cracked. There was holes in the side of the water jackets, and I had to fix it. Nobody had fixed that. I figured I fixed it, and then finally I put some new blocks in it. But I bought another motor. But anyway, that's the thing. See, a woman, her husband died, and he had this car and some others.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought it knowing it had its problems. A lot of people wouldn't have fixed it, because I sold a 37 Nash, and I was very upset with it.
Yeah.
These guys that was interns going to medical school, because to begin with, it had a lock on the side of the steering column to lock the steering, as well as so you couldn't go anywhere.
Okay.
And my wife said, "Oh, just sell it to them," and they broke that. Rather than go get a key made and stuff, they broke the lock.
Oh.
And right there, then I thought, you guys aren't going to keep this very long.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that much to you. Because in the past, I sold a lot of stuff, and I figured it's not worth it to sell it to people that don't appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because they'll just get rid of it. But like I said, I started this room to put this car in because it was home, and it didn't, it was out in the weather.
Mm-hmm.
So and that was the reason I originally built this room. And I've just done what I did. Like your compression ratio used to be real low. It was like 5-to-1. On now?
Yeah. Now the light's on inside.
So when you're taking your picture, I'll turn the light off. He didn't start there. He just showed up. And then he likes God's heaven. And he's thinking, well, if God would like to retire, I'd like to be the next God.
Mm-hmm.
So he's telling everybody that's what he'd like to do. And then all of a sudden he discovers this woman in heaven, which is the Queen of Heaven, is having a child. And it's God's, and this is the physical heavenly birth of God's child in heaven. And he's figuring, if this baby's a boy, it'll go from father to son, I'll lose my chance. So he figures when the baby comes out, I'm going to follow her up the stairs to where she's going to have it, and I'm going to grab it and devour it. It was a boy. So he made the attempt to do so. And then Michael the archangel hears all the commotion, and he comes in and gets the baby away from him. And Satan runs off, ranting about the fact I'll be back and get the baby. And I'm going to eat it, devour it. That's what devour means. And so he comes back, but they take God to show the baby because he did have a son. And at that point, then God says, well, she can't stay around my castle or my house or whatever you want to call it. Satan will be back looking for her and the baby, and he'll get the baby. So they say she has to go off in the wilderness of heaven and hide from Satan. And that's what that scene is. She's in the wilderness of heaven. And then when Satan comes along looking for her and she sees him coming, she crawls in the mouth to hide the baby.
Oh.
And that's how I've done that part of the story.
Fascinating.
See this scene here, I have him, Satan, in God's living room crawling over God's books.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's over on the stairs, going up the stairs to have the baby. And she doesn't know he's following her.
Oh.
That's how I just tried. And I have the text. It was so long, and I did the picture over here, put it on the wall. Because it was, and you can't see it because they didn't turn the lights on.
I can see it pretty good.
And then in that one, I put him as a human-like type person and put the dragon in his cohort.
Yeah.
Because in these texts, there's a lot of space for anything to be in there. Now I'm going to go home.
I go her way now. I like the complicated questions that she speaks, and when she laughs out loud, she doesn't laugh about the company I keep. Now that was something. Now that was something, how she made those people sing, and how she moved them. I think I'm starting to relate to her again. One day past Memphis, there's a light that's shining on. 2 days in Soho is enough to carry on. Way back in Texas, I think I overheard her talking in her sleeve, something about daisies, something about how they used to fall upon her feet. Now that was something. Now that was something, how you made those people cheer, and how you moved them. I think they're starting to relate to you round here. One day past Memphis, there's a light that's shining on. 2 days in Soho is enough to carry on. Whoa. Memphis, there's a light that's shining on. 2 days in Soho is enough to carry on. One day past Memphis, there's a light that's shining on. 2 days in Soho is enough to carry